Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back once again to HBCU Homecoming
The one and only
HBCU
podcast.
podcast.
There you
The one
go.
and only.
The one and only.
One and
There'll
only.
never be another podcast like this.
No,
All
it's
right.
stamped. It's done. That's why we call it Homecoming, because that's what it's about, right? Because you have to go to HBCU to know what it is. And even if you don't go to HBCU, still know what it is. That's how impactful HBCUs
Are you going to learn today?
are.
Hopefully, no. But seriously, hopefully through this podcast and other avenues that we'll get into on our show today. If you didn't go to HBCU, you will at least be a little bit more familiar with the experience. And if you're past the age where you can't go to college, it's over for you. At least you can influence somebody younger than you to consider an HBCU as their future alma mater.
Yeah.
What episode is this, JT? What episode are we in?
This is episode, I believe, 5.
It is episode 5.
Yeah,
I'm mad that you took that long to think about it. We are in episode 5.
I was like,
oh my God.
I was about to say 6, but guys, 5 is a great
number. Getting a little bit ahead of yourself.
Which is never good. Never good, guys. Also, guys, you can check us out on YouTube and also Instagram, TikTok, and podcasts. So we have the audio as well. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, every one of them.
You know, me personally, I don't watch podcasts. Like, even if it's on YouTube, I'll put my phone down and I'll have my headphones in and I'm listening to somebody who committed murder because, like, that's my thing as far as podcasts. I love it. So wherever you are, we made just an audio version for you. So if you just drive it in your car, you want to catch up on the latest things that are happening at HBCUs, we're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And you know what's weird about audio? I'll have this is the great thing from sometimes work from home or when I go on long drives, so it's like 30 minutes.
That's a long drive?
Yeah, hour. So, okay, a long drive. So we went to Pittsburgh, it was 4 hours.
Okay.
Me and Faith listened to 2 podcasts. And I know we played it on YouTube, but I've gotten to the point where I don't watch YouTube. I just put my headphones in and I got to drive, so I can't. I don't do that.
Right.
Crash. So I listen to it. It's awesome. Shout out to podcast audio. But I was thinking about that. I think I'm gonna start listening to the audio more.
I love it. Hands free. I can clean up, do whatever I need to do. It's amazing. It's really amazing. But you know what's sad? We're coming towards the end of the homecoming season, man. It felt like it just came and went. Like it just started and all of a sudden it's about to end.
You know what? It's always like that. I think number one is in homecoming season, you see the whole transition of the seasons, right? You see it gets really hot. And then it just starts to cool, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh,
it's brick.
It's 40 degrees outside.
Yeah.
But it feels good. I don't know if y'all know, man. Like, you gotta be from the East Coast.
Good.
Rose is you've spent a good majority of your life on the East Coast.
That is correct. I spent a lot of time in DC, enough time to realize that I'll never adjust to it. So what I'm saying is I'm a tropical people, man. Like I'm never going to get used to the cold. I don't care what you're talking about. There's absolutely no way. I will say this. I welcomed the wintertime and I appreciate the 40-degree weather because in contrast, this summer was trying to take out mankind. 100-degree weather every day. For the entire summer. It was a heat wave for the entire summer. So like at this point, I don't like the cold. I am not complaining. Like even if I had to go out and do homecoming celebrations, I'll be fine. I'll drink enough liquor. I'll get warmed up. Like I'm good. But I couldn't imagine being out homecoming 100 degrees.
That is
what?
That's crazy. That's
how you pass out.
dangerous.
Yeah, that's how you pass out and the ambulance get called.
Yeah,
and you wake up with the extra bill.
Because homecoming, okay. So we have to understand this about homecomings, right? And I'm not a veteran, but I've been to a lot. The thing is with homecomings is you have to remember, in the words of my man Todd, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You want to eat, it is. You want to hydrate. Because I've never in my life saw the liquor flow. It just flows. And everybody has it. Nobody's stingy. Yeah. Nobody's stingy. I was meeting people. They were like, "Oh, I'm from such." I met this young lady. She's like, "Oh, I'm from Tennessee State." I was like, "Well, you have a cup. Have some tequila."
Yeah, it's
I don't know you, but it's just that's just the love you get. You know,
no, dude. Like I said, your cup runneth over. It is so much liquor in abundance, and everybody like that's our Woodstock, bro. Like homecoming's like our Woodstock. It's like, hey, you want this? You want that? Here, it's all love. Just come and get some. Because you're probably at a point where if you're not nice, you're getting there, and you want somebody to feel the same way that you do. Because it's like, bro, it's homecoming. You need to be partying. You need to be on my level or above it. You know, like what's up? Take this tequila shot. Keep it pushing. Come back if you need another one. Yeah. Like, let me know. Like, what's up?
Yep. This is all love. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everything is flowing. Nobody's out there stingy. Because when you come to homecoming, it's like I like that. It's like a Woodstock. But it's like I say it's kind of like a family reunion, the cookout. It's the greatest one ever. The greatest, man. You see people you haven't seen in years, and not even that, right? The football game, you get to see people grow up.
Yep.
Man, I saw your kids when they were this big, or man, homecoming night. You see so many professors. What's up, James? Like, what's up? I've made it. I've graduated.
Do you think homecoming's that place where people get in trouble because they're trying to pursue old flames? Like people that they mess with or had a crush on, wanted to talk to. Now they got all this liquor courage. Like it starts shit. It starts stuff.
I've seen it live. And here's the thing, guys.
Oh my god. So scandalous.
I've seen it not end well.
I mean, how can it? It's for a weekend. How can it? It's for it's not a amount of time. What are you doing?
What? You know, like I've had women be like, "Hey, you know, this over." I'm like, "What's up, man? You know, what's going on?" Hey, you got some oil? Person is talking to me. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh man.
Because on campus, I was, I'm cool with everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? So people sometimes the reason that gets you in trouble, right? Because you're trying to talk to your past, and you might not be there, but it does work out for some people.
Really, there are some success stories.
Yeah, but the people that the success stories, it had to be love. Right? It couldn't be like it couldn't be like a fling. It has to be some gratitude involved and some love. Because two people that so this happened live, right? So I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say their names. They listen.
Please don't say their names. Are you crazy? Tell me after the show. Tell me the names.
Yeah, but they'll. So we knew they talked. Everybody knew when they were talking that they belonged with each other when we were in school. Then life happens. People get married. Other person get married. Now they're in the life where they're separated and not, and they're back together.
Oh,
It's
wow.
awesome. So it's like a true HBCU love story. It's awesome, man.
I don't know.
love it because I
That's
love
what's
it.
up.
But I've seen
It
other
usually doesn't end
situations
well.
fail.
That's what I'm
I've seen
saying.
other
Like,
situations fail miserably,
think
like a
about
plane
this.
crashing.
Think about this. If it's the same thing with like high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you dated somebody in high school, it didn't work out. You grow into somebody else. So I feel like it's the same situation, even in college. Depending on how far removed you are from having graduated from your alma mater, it didn't work out for a reason. Maybe you were in different space. I don't know. I just know that when liquor flows like that and you're in this nostalgic, like, oh my God, she was the one or he was the one for me, I can make it. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys.
Let me ask you this. Coming from a young lady point of view, have you ever had that happen to you? Where you're like, come on, man. Like an old, not old flame, but somebody that tried to, when you were at Howard, tried talking, and then y'all see each other later. They're like, hey, what's up? And you're like,
I mean, yeah, but that's not to be expected, but kind of, and I just try to be polite about it because I hate this. I was actually telling my friend this. I'm like, bro, I hate being in a situation where I have to reject somebody because I don't like hurting people's feelings or feeling like I'm letting them down or not living up to their expectations. That's something that I'm actively working on. But yeah, like, no, that's not gonna, it's just not gonna happen. And me, even if we had a situation, because I didn't really date anybody in college like that to where we're in a relationship. I was a little bit more of a free spirit. But it was never a thing of like, maybe we got something wrong here. Let me go back. I've always been of the mindset. If it didn't work out, it was for a reason. I'm moving on. You have a blessed life, and that's all I can do. I hope we can be friends, but if not, I can't even force that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
that's just me.
Okay. So in college, I was having fun, but
were you?
Yes, but I won't say her name, but she knows who she is. But I did meet my first love in college.
Wow. Yep. Wow. Have you seen her since? Like at a home? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she married or?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Married.
That's just how it goes, man.
2 kids. Yeah, man.
Man, 2 kids.
It's my girl. I'm like, what's up? It's like, what's up? It's all love, Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. It's a good, cordial thing. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rarity. So.
Yeah, because sometimes doesn't end well, and sometimes people don't like each other after like breakups and stuff like that.
Be pissed with each other. I can't even call it.
Yeah, I've seen it. So yes, that's some highlights, right, from homecoming. It was awesome this year. I think next year, we discussed this before, I'm going to make a schedule and I'm hitting 3 different homecomings that is not Bowie State. I'm going to Bowie, but those 3 other weeks, I'm going to go. You
got to go to Howard.
I'm going to go to Howard. I'm going to somebody's going to stick me to it. I'm going to make Eastern Shore.
And it also depends on.
I'm going to try, if God willing, I'm going to try to go to Eastern Shore. Saying it here, Todd, you heard it. Eastern Shore, and I'm going to go to North Carolina A&T. Now, if North Carolina A&T falls, it depends on the schedule, guys.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
The schedule,
can't really call it.
Because if Howard falls on Bowie, I'm always going to go to Bowie. But, it depends on the schedule. But next year, I'm going to go to
you heard it here first.
Go to 3 different homecomings that are not Bowie and Bowie. So the goal is 4 homecomings next year.
That'll be the college tour. So speaking of college tours, we have a couple of topics that we want to get into that we feel like are pivotal and just bringing awareness to HBCUs, especially around homecoming. JT, great as always, and bringing my attention to First Take.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if a lot of you know this, but Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp, both alumni of HBCUs. Stephen A. Smith went to Winston-Salem, and then Shannon Sharp is a graduate of Savannah State, where he went on to play in the NFL. But they have a very unique and very rare opportunity. One, I haven't seen two HBCU alums on such a platform as ESPN, and being able to now say, hey, you know what? Let's take this show on the road. Let's have our road show, the first one of this season with both hosts, and let's go to our alma maters. So Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp will be at Savannah State, and they'll also be hosting a show at Winston-Salem. So they'll be at Savannah State on Monday, November 6th in the Tiger Arena. And on Tuesday, the very next day, they'll be live at Winston-Salem. What?
It's going to be lit.
I was like, what? What's
students?
Yes. No, it's going to be amazing at the Clarence E. Gaines Center. So they're going to be showing up for their alma maters. And how do you feel about that?
I love it because I follow both of them, right? Sometimes I don't necessarily agree with Stephen A. all the time, but I do follow him because he went to Winston-Salem State. I went to Bowie State. If y'all don't know, Winston-Salem and Bowie State are in the CIAA. That is the Central Intercollegiate Conference.
That's right.
Yes, I should know that because I went to Bowie State, and we've had some battles with Winston-Salem, and we've won a lot of those.
Dang, just to let y'all know. Goodness gracious. No humility there in the wins.
Wow. I mean, Winston is
I love it.
Yeah. But no, I love it. I love it for Winston-Salem State. It's a small school, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is pretty awesome. And, Stephen A. said this one time, and it got a lot of controversy, but it was very correct in what he said. He said that I give people a choice what to look up to, and I make as much as athletes do, but you don't have to take that path. And at first everybody was, I don't get it. I was like, no, he makes totally sense.
Yeah.
Because because listen, the NFL and NBA are so hard. It's like point percent to make it to the NFL, the NBA, the major leagues.
It's hard.
It's really difficult, right? But and it's really difficult to be on First Take and ESPN, but you can work your way up to that. It's just if you're willing to do it. And I love Stephen A. And then Shannon Sharp, one of my favorite tight ends, played for Denver. I used to like watching him. He's amazing. I watch all his podcasts. I'm a Club Shay Shay member. I watch Club Shay Shay. I watch him and Ocho. Woo. They got a chemistry I've never seen. They're hilarious.
Yes.
And then I watch First Take more because of Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting dynamic, and it's one of those things of finding a positive out of a very negative situation with the issues that he was dealing with on Undisputed with right.
We didn't even know.
Like, what is going on? Very toxic. So out of that, he still rose. And, me and my brothers, we used to be like, man, sometimes Skip talks out the side of his damn neck, bro. He'd be saying some wild stuff that if he said it to the wrong person, he get punched in the mouth. So, but I feel like Shannon Sharp, practiced professionalism as best he could. He's still human, and he got up out of there. And it just shows, look at the positive that came out of this. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And like you pointed out earlier, Stephen A. Smith, he was recruited to go to Winston-Salem on a basketball scholarship.
Yes. Yep.
Due to injuries, he never played a game in his collegiate career, it ended up transitioning to sports journalism. And you look at somebody like Shannon Sharpe, an absolute stud, to the point where his coach, because Shannon Sharpe said, you know, if his grades were better, he would have went to a PWI. You know, he got a little flack for that, but I mean, that's the reality. If his grades were better, he probably went to a PWI. His coach said, son, if you're good, they'll find you. And Lord, did they find him. He went on, when he got drafted 17th round in the NFL draft. He was a 192 overall pick. He had a 13-year career, and he was 3 times Super Bowl champion, inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? I say that to say they both went to HBCUs, pathways completely different, even though they both came in on a scholarship, and they both, you know, full circle are now hosting a show together. They're co-hosting a show together. Yes. So like you were talking about pathways, there are so many different paths and so many different doors that going to an HBCU, and even just being an athlete, maybe you get an athletic scholarship. Like you said, 0.00, you said a lot of zeros, very minute, very small chance that you're going to make it as a professional athlete, but you can still reach a very high level of success in whatever field you are. And Stephen A. Smith, he did that. Like love him or hate him. Sometimes he talks way too much.
Yeah.
And I can't deal with it. But you have to recognize his success and what he's doing with HBCUs.
Yep. And shout out to Savannah State too. I've never been, but Savannah State is in Savannah, Georgia, and I have a lot of family there. So really? I got a lot of family in Georgia. Man, most of my family is on my dad's side, and my mom's side from the South.
That's how DC is, though. It's either North Carolina or Georgia. They like people are like, oh yeah, I got family in North Carolina or Georgia. That's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of family in North Carolina. I was born in Sumter, South Carolina. I got a lot of family in Florida. A whole bunch of Florida, man. Yeah, I love Florida. I'm on some property down there. Oh, yeah, I love Florida.
I'm fine.
I love Florida, man. But yeah, this is just it's awesome, man. And you know what it does? It brings awareness to like the campus. And man, to be a student, the students on that campus, by them being there, are going to change they're going to change some lives. Because it's like, it's here, it's ESPN. Yeah. Like, can you imagine if First Take came to Howard? It would be like, it's going to be, oh my goodness. I'm not going to class. Okay.
Oh, class? What are you talking about?
I'm not going to class.
Sick. I don't feel well.
They're getting no doctor's note. They're gonna see me on First Take like this.
Right over. Exactly.
But that's just awesome, man. And I love how much awareness is being shown to HBCUs, because I don't think HBCUs' histories have been kind of like, it started out very prominent, and then somewhere on the way it kind of got like washed away.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's coming back. Yeah, now it's coming back because I don't know. I think everybody's just like, yo, it's a lot of people coming out of HBCUs that are successful. And I think that the more successful people talk about the HBCU experience, their HBCU background, and what they learned, it's phenomenal, because that lets us know, right? It lets students know, like, I can be that.
Oh, for sure. But I will say this, Black excellence never took a break. Even though there was a decline in attendance, there was a decline in, seeing it on media, or like how we used to in the 90s. Like we always talk about it. Martin Lawrence always had all the paraphernalia of HBCU. Queen Latifah also always rock her HBCU paraphernalia. So it kind of left media, right? But they were always very prominent and very successful HBCU alumni. What I researched and what I think was one of the major catalysts, like you're bringing up, like, I don't know, like, what was the decline? It was the prominence or just popularity stems from a lot of articles I read were giving credit to a very tragic incident, the George Floyd murder. That was a catalyst. A lot of people saw that. Imagine the world standing still, can't nobody go anywhere, right? And then you're seeing this. It was the craziest thing I've seen in my lifetime. It was the craziest thing. And so what it did was drive a lot of young students to the mindset of, I need a safe place. I need a place to learn. I need a place that's going to teach me about who I am in a very genuine, unbiased way. And it's not, whitewashed or written by our oppressors. So that's what the real catalyst was. And not only did you see attendance go up while PWI's attendance went down and, acceptance or enrollment went down, I think another important aspect of that whole George Floyd situation was people were giving, like their donations started increasing. And that wasn't just with alumni. It was famous people. It was the U.S. government saying, hey, we're going to, Trump, we're going to promise this amount of money to HBCUs. It was a multitude of things where now we're seeing people realize, oh, HBCUs, but we've been here. We didn't go anywhere. We've been here. We've been turning out Black successful doctors, engineers, lawyers, artists, all types of stuff. We've never gone anywhere,
Yep. And it's just awesome to see. Like that George Floyd, that was crazy.
It was enraging. It was sad. It was very tragic, and it's a very polarizing subject, and it ignited a lot.
Everybody had to talk about it.
Everybody had to talk about it, but it ignited a lot of action. So people were so pissed. I've never seen people like destroying public property to that amount. All over, like, I couldn't even imagine being a police officer at that time. I'd be like, I might quit. Like me, I might have quit. I'm like, I ain't dealing with this. These people are unruly. They're pissed. And I agree. Like, I'd be blown. You're about to put me out on the front line. These people are trying to kill somebody.
And it was funny because it wasn't funny, but like it was talked everywhere. Like every sports show, news show,
shut it down.
Undisputed. I was like,
shut it down.
I was like, what?
All the athletes, they wasn't having it, bro. They won't let it go either. So, like, we're dealing with this, America. This is something we're dealing with. So, out of something so crazy, we're seeing now an influx of just interest in HBCUs. And Stephen A. Smith, I don't think he gets the recognition or praise that he deserves because he, besides, First Take, going on the road and actually going to HBCUs for the first time. I've never seen anything like it in my time. They've always gone to PWIs, but I haven't seen an HBCU on such a high platform. Viewership's going to be out of control. But besides that, we're watching it. I'm going to be at work. I got to figure out a way to watch it, but I'm definitely going to watch it. But he's been giving back to his alma mater. He's been putting together projects. Right. Why not us? He started a docuseries, profiling like Howard University's golf team, Grambling's dance team. He's been doing things, putting projects out there. He's the reason why there's like an HBCU week for First Take. Like, he's a very much so an advocate of HBCUs, and I love it. Like, say what you want about Stephen A. Smith, I don't give a goddamn.
He's been there.
He's been there. He donates at minimum $50,000 to $100,000 a year annually to his alma mater.
He's been there. I remember, I think this was maybe last year, where he's last year, the year before, like he went into the locker room, his old locker room, talking to his old teammates at Winston-Salem. Yeah, like he's always. That's why he gets on my nerves. But I'm always gonna. Sometimes he does.
He's so annoying, bro. He's so annoying.
Sometimes I'm like, come on.
He's like, man, shut up. You don't know nothing about boxing. Shut up.
But I gotta support him because not only
for sure.
He went to a Winston Salem, which is HBCU, and he's smart because he's on every podcast.
Highly intelligent. He's highly intelligent.
On Joe Budden podcast. He's not. He's Stephen A. He has his own podcast. He's on Shannon Sharp podcast. He's on Joe Budden podcast. He knows how to connect with our age, the older crowd, and the youth, because some people don't watch. Because I've kind of veered off of watching main sports shows. I still watch a little bit of them, but I watch more podcasts. Like I'll watch Joe Budden, or I'll watch Gilbert Arenas podcast. Right. I'll watch New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce. I'll watch Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. I'll watch, I'll just watch because I want to hear from an athlete's perspective, and then you learn how athletes' mindset are, how they carry it, and how, they be playing through some injuries, man.
I also think that approach, JT, like how you're watching, like how you get your sports, it's more of, I guess, there's not such a mass agenda behind it. It's more authentic. Sometimes, like watching First Take, they're all regurgitating the same shit. So I'm not gonna watch Colin Cowherd. I'm not watching all that.
He's gonna talk about the same things
that Undisputed just talked about. So if you're with the FS1, they're all talking about the same stuff. You're with ESPN, they're all talking about the. I just watch one sports show, and
I watch some of First Take. I watch some of Cowherd, but I'll watch Gilbert Arenas podcast. Like, all right, I want to hear from Brandon Jennings and Kenya Martin and Gilbert Arenas and Rashad McCants. You know what I'm saying? Like like it's good to like listen to pro athletes about how they look at the game and how the NBA should, how the NBA should structure like the tournament, or how just how to approach it and what is really talking about. And they actually break down the game. Sometimes I don't know what they're talking about. But
it's too high level.
It's too high. They're all NBA players. So sometimes they're like, when you do the cut, like Gilbert I don't think people be like, oh, Gilbert, he be talking trash, but everybody's he was the first to wear 0. And this is a fact, guys. If he didn't have the injury, he probably would have gone off. He was on a 5-year tear. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to respect him. A lot of NBA players. Right. So now he's silly. He's silly, man. But a lot of players respect him. Right. I remember on the podcast, Brandon Jennings was like, he's like, man, I remember one day you told me, you were like, yeah, man, your big's going to cut here. I'm going to cut back, and I'm going to back you down, and I'm going to give you 40, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. That's how Gilbert used to carry it. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, Rashad McCants is on it. He's like, how much you give Rashad? He's like, 35, 40. It's like, golly, that's just how, but I like seeing that.
Just like that.
40. Yeah. I just like hearing it from athletes. And then sometimes you get somebody like Ryan Clark and Shannon Sharp who kind of give this blend, because they have their own podcast where they talk about football and life, and then they bring it on ESPN. But I've kind of, I'll watch maybe a little bit of Colin Cowherd, a little bit, but I'll watch more sports-based podcasts.
At this point with social media,
JJ
how it's set up
is a good one. If you really want to listen to basketball, listen to Tim Legger and JJ Redick. They break down schemes, zones. I'm starting to understand a little bit more because I'm listening to it a lot more. But anyway,
but no. So basically, what I was saying, at this point, because of social media, you can pretty much anything breaking. I'm going to see it on my phone instead of me having to sit down and watch an hour show. Plus, I'm on the go. A lot of people are at work nowadays, even if you're working from home. So it's kind of harder to catch these shows. I say that to say, even with now mainstream media having to compete with a lot of people, pulling the plug, so to speak, or they're just tailor making their subscriptions to what they want to watch. ESPN, well, First Take in particular, they've been able for like 15 months consecutively increase their viewership. So the point of me bringing that up, the point of me bringing that up though is to just point out that them going on the road for this live tour for HBCUs is going to be the ultimate exposure. Yes. It's not on, some small platform. This is a huge platform that garners like almost 1 million views. You get what I'm saying? There's like 955,000 people watching First Take. So even if you never went to an HBCU, you're going to learn today. You'll learn on the 6th and the 7th. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of time is just about people don't know. Yes. People just don't know. Yes. And this is going to be that opportunity to use such a high platform and just expose it. There's a very interesting article I was reading about Jeff Fisher, right? And he was, I forget what team, he was former Tennessee Titans or whatever. So he said that he became a huge HBCU football fan. And he said, I'm watching the Morgan State NCCU game instead of any type of NFL game on October 19th. He said that. He's like, I'm going to watch it because he was like, me and George, I helped advise him. So sometimes it just takes people knowing, okay, this team exists, getting their hands out there, seeing the players, understanding their struggles, realizing like, hey, man, these guys are talented. They deserve a shot. They deserve a shot as well. Yeah. So I think that's what this First Take, this tour is going to highlight. You're going to see the school, you're going to make a connection, and you're going to be like, you know what? Let me now start following Winston Salem this basketball season. Let me tune into a Savannah State game just because you saw it. That's all it really takes sometimes. Just exposure. That creates the awareness. So I think it's dope. It's dope.
It's dope, man. Like, I love it because, right, the thing with I didn't know, and this is a story. Like you said it, I said it right. My dad said it. And then I'm gonna get right into something else, but I didn't know Bowie State was what it was. I was just like, oh, it's just Bowie State, whatever. And I go there, I'm like, what is going on here? This is like a little golden nugget. And I know when you when you went to Howard, you say it all the time. And like, this experience is different.
I didn't know what I was getting myself into because, like we said, there's not enough representation. We're not talking about no school days or Hillman College, and we're in the 2000s now, And like what you gave us, Drumline, that still didn't really like depict what to expect going to an HBCU. It's very dramatized. It's very much so for the big screens and things like that. But just like Bowie, I didn't know what to expect going to Howard. I didn't know. I was pleasantly surprised.
It's like all these black people are cool, and you got the band. You got, oh man, just Tuesday night. There's nothing to do on campus, and there's a women and men basketball, and then you just fall in love with like. You get to see basketball and football at like it's I don't want to say purest level, but it's a level where people are playing for scholarships and playing because they love it. It's just it's a different experience, man. Like I love it, and it's just awesome. And I say that because also who's going on tour is the Shop. And if people don't know, the Shop is LeBron show and Maverick Carter, and it's got a really nice vibe because it's just people in the barbershop talking. And if you don't know, guys, if you've ever been to a barbershop, a black barbershop, the conversations that go on in there are like no other. And I do miss it. I do, because I cut my own hair. But I used to love going to the barbershop because listen, when you go to a barbershop, you might be in there for hours. You might be in there 3-4 hours.
Yeah. Even if you make an appointment, it doesn't mean anything.
Appointment. What does an appointment mean?
What are those?
What are those? I used to be like, yo, I got a 12 appointment and I'm out at 3.
Yeah, right. Whoa.
Yeah, it's about sometimes 2 hours. Especially if it's a popular barber. Yeah. Popular barber, you get there at 12, you're like, man, 3 ahead of you. Just wait, and then you end up talking. We talk sports, women, life, and the next thing you know, you in a chair. It's an experience, man. It's an experience like no other.
I've been to the barbershop with my brothers. I have 3 brothers, y'all.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times, and it's like, it's time to go. But the thing is, they're very respectful. They see women around, obviously the conversation, the tone, everything will change, but I can only imagine when it's just men around, but that's something that's needed, right? That's something that's needed. That brotherhood, that fellowship, if you will, to talk about what you need to talk about. So that concept and how LeBron James kind of took that, to create a talk show, and I think it's amazing.
Yes. And let me give him credit. Rivera too, who hosted too.
Paul,
I think
Paul Rivera.
Paul Rivera. Yep. I got to give him credit as well. So this is just, it's awesome because what the barbershop does, it's not for Black men and men, all men in general. It's like, because we don't care. We don't care if you're white. We don't care if you're Spanish. We don't care. You get a barbershop, you in there. Listen. You're gonna get it all. No matter what we talking about, that's what I love about Black people. We don't care, man.
No discrimination.
No discrimination. Like, okay, man, you gonna get a cut? All right, cool. It's kind of like therapy, because it's no judgment. You get to be who you are. And the sports conversations off the chain, and there's gonna be high level sports conversations. It's gonna be somebody. The debates are crazy in the barbershop. Like, you hear crazy things. You hear, oh, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go. I know what you're about to say, man. Like that.
Don't bring up LeBron and MJ.
Oh, that's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I can only imagine how it was then. So when I was going to the barbershop, the LeBron MJ conversation, it was there. But when I was really going to the barbershop, it was LeBron and MJ was there. LeBron and MJ was there. Kobe would be talked about.
Another polarizing topic. About. Yeah, it's too much.
It's a lot.
JT used to work at the bar that I worked at. We worked in the same place at one point in time, and he would see my reaction when customers would try to shit talk or compare LeBron James. I would get pissed to the point where I was like, bro, I don't even want to serve you anymore, honestly. Like, get up from my bar, bro. You understand? Like, I'm done with this conversation. You don't know what you're talking about. And you sound like a hater. Actually, you sound like you're just hating. I don't get it. Just get out of here, bro. Pay your tab. Go. I don't even need a tip. Just get out of my face. What?
I mean, at this point in time, I think it's pretty clear who.
Oh, it's over. There's no debate. There's no debate.
Greatest player of all time.
He's of all time.
It's LeBron, guys.
Let's take a breath, bro. Like, let's just.
He's just adding on.
Accept it. And this shows just another accomplishment, another thing to add to his resume. And this is no knock on MJ, because MJ, he's MJ.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I'm sure he's giving back. But we're talking about this tour that the shop Uninterrupted. They also, and it's almost just like, man, this is crazy. Two shows with a huge following. One's on main media. LeBron, his show's on HBO, correct?
Yep.
So his is on HBO. They released some episodes on YouTube. I'm looking at these episodes, 1 million views each one of them. Yes. So what are the 3 schools that are included with this tour for LeBron's?
The 3 schools that are included are Tennessee State University, Hampton University,
I'm playing,
and North Carolina A&T.
That's what's up.
And Technology College in North Carolina. For people who don't know.
So I had my opinions. I had my opinions. Okay, I said, why did they go with those 3 schools? No, not like I say. I love every HBCU.
Yeah.
We have built-in rivalries, but at the end of the day, it's HBCU or nothing at all. So the reason behind it, because there's over 100 HBCUs, but they said they chose Tennessee State because it was the first HBCU to launch a hockey program. North Carolina A&T, which will be the last stop on their tour, they're actually going to be recording. Is it today? They're actually recording it today.
Yes, they're recording it today.
While we're recording this podcast, which is November the 2nd, I'm not sure when JT will release this to the masses. So they chose North Carolina A&T because it's the largest HBCU that graduates the most Black engineers in America.
Yes,
super dope. And they chose Hampton University Institute because of its rich history with housing the oldest museum of the African diaspora in the U.S. So, like you said, these are trailblazers, right? So I understand why they went with. Why is it so hard for me? It's the Howard.
I know it's hard. Yeah. People don't know it is a vicious rivalry.
I swear to God, it's crazy. I'm on IG. Not to get off topic, y'all, but I'm on IG. And they're posting how people are jumping the gate, damn near 9-foot gate with pointy tips to get into the tailgating event, which was way over capacity, double capacity than what they're supposed to have. And somebody from Hampton was like, "See, this is ratchet and unclassiness at its finest. Never at Hampton." And a small part of me started getting enraged, and I said, "Hold on, let me just take a step and take a beat back." I had to chuckle. I said, "Y'all are haters." See, at the end of the day, it's because y'all's homecoming isn't lit like ours. People are willing to risk their lives to come to our homecoming. But it's that type of rivalry. But I really will say it is amazing, and I know on the next tour for next year they'll get it right and come to Howard University, because I know just like Bowie State has rich history. They have trailblazing stats. Like, what was the one stat that you let me know about Bowie State? I didn't know.
It was founded in 1865, and it was the oldest HBCU in Maryland. That is why Barack Obama has spoken there. Michelle Obama has spoken.
JT.
That's why.
JT.
We got a lot of We got a lot of rich. They'll stop by there. I'm telling you.
And Howard University, I won't even begin to get, we all know. I'm just going to throw one out there. Created the first Black law school.
Yep.
It's one of many. So they'll, second time around.
Yep.
But no, honestly, it's dope.
I believe, let me make sure. Not only that, y'all have a lot of actors.
A lot of actors. We were pivotal in the civil rights movement because we founded the first Black law school. A lot of things were happening.
Got a great medical school too.
At the end of the day, we're not going to play this game. We're not going to play this game because.
No.
It's too many notables, too many quotables. It's either or you don't, and it's fine. But we'll let them have their shine.
If I had to lean, I'm going to lean Howard because I have family.
Yeah.
My father, my aunt, my grandmother, my great aunt, my other aunt. So my aunt went to law school there. Nice. My other aunt went to med school there. And my cousin just graduated from med school there. My dad graduated there, of course.
I'm just saying, it's not a competition, but it is what it is.
It's phenomenal.
But I say that to say both of these shows are moving the needle, because Stephen A. Smith, he pointed out something that I read about before. He compared the endowment and the size of PWI's endowments compared to HBCU's endowments. And an interesting fact, as you're shaking your head because you probably know it, there's no HBCU that has an endowment worth at least $1 billion. And to put that into perspective, or to give you something to kind of compare that to, Harvard University, their endowment is roughly $10 billion. Princeton University, they have roughly $4.6 million per student. If they were to break down their endowment per student, they have $4.6 million per student. The biggest endowment at a HBCU, you can kind of guess where that's at.
Can I guess? Under $1 million?
The biggest endowment. No HBCU is $1 billion. But what?
No, under $1 million.
No. No, I'm saying what school? What do you think has the biggest
endowment? I'd probably say Howard.
There we go. Ding, 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 ding. And what does he want, Jim? Come on, bro. Like,
yeah, they be shoving out money. I know Howard got deep pockets. I know.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So Howard's up there. They have like a little over. Last article I read, it was over like $800 million.
Yeah.
Like the next one, I think. The next one is Spelman's. Yeah. Spelman's number 2, and theirs is roughly at $459 million. But really compare that to endowments that are in the billions. You can just do more. Now we can revamp that stadium, So these shows, what I'm hoping will do is add another layer to making the playing field even. Because we've already discussed in other episodes how corporate America has now stepped in. We're seeing all these endorsements coming left and right. We're seeing NIL deals. We're seeing Nike. We're seeing Jordan Brand, endorse like all these things. Even LeBron James with the FAMU gear, like saucy gear. You understand what I'm saying? Nice. And it's really nice. And you're seeing athletes repping, these schools. You mean Damian Lillard had a PV sweatshirt, he's rocked it, like, bro. So it's coming in. Of course, Chris Paul, he's been rocking it. Now. He's been rocking. I mean, like 90s style, bro. He going from
and J.R. Smith
to HBCU. Exactly. So I think this is just the next layer. This is the next push. The next step in evolution and making sure money keeps pouring in. I am quite sure from these shows and from these tours.
Yes.
Donorship's going to go up.
Yes.
And that's really the goal. I want to see the first endowment, and most likely it's going to be Howard because we're almost there.
We're almost there. Yeah.
I want to see the first HBCU endowment reach $1 billion.
Yeah, because once it starts, it's going to just keep. It's going to keep trickling. Because at this point, you have too many people like involved. Like Chris Paul be shouting out. Is it Central?
He shouts out a lot. Like he even had a Livingstone.
I think he went. Did he go there? I think it's. Let me make sure.
I'm not sure. JT's looking that up. I don't think so. I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
He went. He graduated on Winston-Salem. Oh, he was born in Winston-Salem. And I know he. Where is it at? I know y'all better mention it. Yep, Winston-Salem. He graduated from Winston-Salem.
See, another product of an HBCU.
He always pushes it.
Bro.
All the
even
time.
Steven Jackson. He's another one where he's just like, hey man, I'm trying to help these programs. Michael B. Jordan, like, so you're seeing. I mean, the list goes on and on, but you're seeing now people giving recognition to HBCUs and realizing like, hey, we are producing the future engineers, the future doctors, like more than just athletes. We are producing, the necessary elements, key elements for a society to flourish. And this is no knock on athletes. Entertainment is important. I am a sports fan enthusiast, but it's not just about that. We need to make sure we're giving back so these other programs, can flourish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And really uplift the Black community.
Yes. Because shout out to my man in high school, and I laughed at him for it, but he really loved golf. And even I talked to him today. I'm like, man, we got a Top Golf. He's like, yes, man, I got clubs. Like, he's really into golf. And I say that because Steph Curry, shout out, he did the Howard golf team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then J.R. Smith does golf. And then Jordan's big into golf. So that just is all going to connect. And I just like to see that is bringing awareness. And I love it that we're in a time, I guess, because it is our generation where we're shedding more light on it. And I love
it. And what you brought up was amazing with the golf, right? Because not only golf, like you got to think, some of these schools don't even have certain athletic programs. So you starting to like a wrestling team or a lacrosse team or some of these sports that are not boxing, some of these sports that other gymnastics, all these things that students who are in high school, like, man, I really want to go to an HBCU, but they don't have a cross country team or they don't have this or that. So now you're forced to go to a PWI because you need a scholarship. Nobody says you got to be pro, but these are the things that, you got to start thinking about. So a larger endowment, then you can start, sponsoring and creating these programs, like having a hockey team. Black people play hockey, bro. Every race plays everything.
Everything.
Okay? Every race plays everything.
Every race plays everything.
That's just what it is. So we have to start being able to give our children these opportunities at HBCUs, so they feel a fulfillment in going to an HBCU. Like, I didn't miss out on anything because we had everything here. And on top of having everything as far as resources, you had teachers who taught you about what it means to be Black. They taught you about your history. They empowered you through another side of our story that's beyond slavery.
Yes.
Like that's what I'm getting at. You miss so much of the history and the culture when you have to go to a PWR. You choose to. No knock on it, but we need to really be giving back to HBCUs and uplifting them, if just for that alone. I never knew who Mansa Musa was. He gave out so much gold, JT, that he messed up the economy. Like, he was just giving out. But we don't, being from the Texas, the South, we're not taught that. So that's what I'm saying, bro. We got to make sure we're giving to HBCUs to give back to these programs to teach ourselves about us.
Yeah, and that it's if you want to learn about Black history, go to HBCU, because that HBCU, they're going to teach you about the school. They have certain traditions that have been going on for a long time. Their Black history taught at HBCU is things that empowering. You never experienced or never learned about.
Nope.
Because they're not, it's not whitewashed. It's not erased. It's here because it's a historically Black college. So you're getting
what that does for your psyche?
History.
Yeah. Authentic history from the other side. We get in, like, for me growing up, history was not one of my favorite subjects. I was always geared towards math and science, and one of the reasons why my mind shut down was because I was kind of tired of us being portrayed as just slaves or indigenous. Like, I don't want to keep hearing about that. It didn't make me feel good. All it did was create a sense of rage and injustice in me. Right. And so mentally, like, I was like, I just got to learn this material so I can pass this test. And then that's it. Especially being Nigerian. I'm like, there's definitely more to this tale that you're not telling.
Yeah. Okay?
You're telling the Americanized version. And I know there's more. So when I went to Howard and I just started learning about that, I said, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah. Because they highlight the greatness of Black excellence. Hey, man, you know who Arthur Ashe. Like you'll hear about it, but it'll be like this. It'll be like, no, he went to here, right? Or you got to learn about, Charles Drew, right?
Yep.
Like all these doctors and engineers and
Alan Locke, Benjamin Banneker. Like you just don't, bro. The list goes on and on. It's wild. Like, it's really wild.
Yes,
it's really wild.
And you learn that at a HBCU, and then it's just everything. You want to know the history of sororities and fraternities, HBCUs is going to tell you, right? You want to learn it's a lot of band history, like the way that the bands move. And man, I remember you could definitely know this because you went to Howard. I remember as a student, it's raining outside and the football game is over and the bands are still battling. I'm watching them. Like, oh, yeah, it's off the chain.
It's crazy.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is gone, and they're just going boom, 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 and they're going like, it's just
them African drums, man. The rhythm puts you in a trance. You can't stop.
Awesome, man. And I love it. My band is better than your band. Like it's
you damn right.
The competition level, it's on all levels, and I
really hope that they highlight that. As far as these tours are concerned, I really hope they highlight that because I feel like that's such a fundamental piece of what separates our HBCU experience from a PWI HBCU experience. Some bands are off the chain, out of control. I love it.
Drum major is like, if you are the drum major, guys, at an HBCU, you're like a rock star.
Yes, real, as you should be on some drum marches,
like
as you
rock
should be.
Star, man. My shout out one of my friends. He worked his way up, and then he was a drum major. I was like, man, I can't. You know what I'm saying? He had to. He came out. I was like, oh, look at. I was like, because it's a lot of work to be the drum major. HBCU, man, and you got to lead out the whole band, and you have to set the tone.
Yeah.
I was like, you're the man.
I mean, you're a performer. You're the ultimate performer. You gotta appreciate it. They come out, they put on the show.
Yeah,
they leave it all out there.
Yeah.
Oof, I love it. So, JT, what was your? I guess because homecoming's coming to a close. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. Because it's coming to a close. What you're looking back on as you quoted. The best homecoming experience, or to date. What was a highlight for you, or what was the one thing that kind of stands out in your brain when you think about your homecoming experience this year?
Probably
the lamb. I'm playing.
Probably the amount of Black businesses and the amount of Black love.
Nice.
Like, it was just everybody was just having a good time. It was an experience like you get it at every homecoming, but this homecoming was heightened a little bit, and because of what happened, and it was just like unfortunately ended up happening again. But before that, the love and the appreciation and it was awesome. Just having all those people from Morgan there, all those Black businesses, legendary,
nice,
10588, all the fraternities and sororities, all the Qs. I love y'all. It was phenomenal. It was just a lot of love, man. And it was packed. Everybody was having a good time. It was awesome. It was awesome.
The turnout, I think, also too, when we talked about just enrollment and attendance going up, that's another thing like that adds to it, because obviously the shooting at Morgan State added to it being packed, but I also just think just in general enrollment's been going up, bro. Like you're gonna start seeing more and more packed out homecoming events. I mean, look at Howard. I mean, there was a video. This guy's just like reporting live. He's like, because if you can't go to Bella Noche's, where else can?
Yeah, I saw that. That
one, right? Like, come on, bro. And then they, like, look, pan out, and she's like shaking, trying to get over.
Because
Not my vagina. Are you kidding me?
He was talking to a girl, right? A young lady. And they were talking about turn up. And he was like, yep, I remember. It was like, Bella Noche. And he looked, it was like, look. And I was like, oh.
She's just like shaking, bro. Yeah. Like the way that joint was shaking and that pointy tip. Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, even though that person who commented from Hampton, they pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. That was ratchet. That was like, y'all are doing too much.
Now it depends. It depends what level of life I was at.
Right.
If I was younger,
and you know they look young, bro.
20. Hey, we getting in here, dog.
No, by any means necessary. I'm jumping out.
Necessary.
Me,
the cops aren't over here. Nobody's looking. I'm hot.
They had to shut it down. Yeah, they had to shut it. And people were helping them too. They were like, "Come on, I'm gonna help you up and come down. I'm helping you on this side."
Yeah, come on. Come down and take this shot. Come on.
Did you see for your efforts? Did you see that footage of, like, I think they were on U Street, and that bus was trying to come through, and they literally like were just dancing and twerking, and they couldn't. The bus couldn't come through, and they actually ended up getting on the bus, like the front of the bus where you load your bike up.
Yeah,
and they were just like dancing to, I think it was like that Sexy Red and Drake song.
Oh my goodness!
When I say Howard's Homecoming was litty.
It's always.
And then you got to remember where you at, bro. You in DC.
You're in DC.
So you already going to get a certain type of energy, bro.
I don't think I've ever been to a bad Howard Homecoming.
You can. It doesn't exist.
I'm you know what?
It doesn't exist. Me and JT, we're pulling up next year, next season. We're going to release the dates for our homecoming tour. You heard it here first. And when you see us outside, say what's up. Yeah, like we going to turn up. We're going to be turned up.
All right, guys. I think that is it. Oh, wait a minute.
Hold up.
November 17th is when Omega Psi Pi fraternity was founded.
Where were they founded at?
Of course. Howard University. The first.
I know that's right.
Fraternity founded at HBCU, but that's neither here. Yeah, it's the first fraternity founded at HBCU.
Hey, I know that's right. Hey.
Yep.
A lot of alpha chapters. Okay.
Yep. November 17th, 1911. So I will, and I'm going to get some good footage because I will be going to Howard. So, yes, I got you this time. Trust me, I got you.
I think our definitions of good footage aren't the same.
Let me tell you something before we go, right?
I just don't think they match up.
My wife was like, I was out walking with my mom, and I had this picture of this deer, and I got some good footage. And when she showed me, I told her, I said, this is what I filmed. They came the road. And she looked at it and was like, oh my God. I thought I got the deer. I said, yeah, that's exactly
God.
all it did. You just see having a deer in the ground. I was like, that's all the footage I gave to Rose. All of it. That's exactly what it looks like. And she was like, I thought it was good. I said, I know the feeling. Just trust me.
Damn, dude.
I know the feeling. But I'm going to have a little tripod, and I'm going to have my portable charger. Yes.
All you need is a gimbal. You need a stabilizer. You don't even need a tripod. Just get a gimbal to stabilize
it. It's like this big, right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever size you want.
It's like this big. It's
whatever size. I have one somewhere. It's over there, but
he's like, you should use this, and I put it in my bag, and I was like, I got it. I'm a professional. I'm not.
You're not, especially making a statement like that. You're definitely not. You need a stabilizer, bro. Hand shaking, moving all crazy, and you just need to slow down.
Yeah. So when I have it,
slow down.
I got you. So it's gonna be better. And all right,
if you want to do some practice footage and send it to me, just my door's always open. Each one, teach one.
I'm going. Already hit my man up. I'm going midday.
November 17th, Howard University.
1 p.m. I'm there getting lit. Holler.
Damn. Okay.
I'm pulling up.
What day is that? What day of the week
Friday.
Is that? Oh, no work. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's a Friday.
I've already confirmed it. I'm pulling up. I hit my man. I said, come on, man. Let's do it. Let's go. And then we're going to see what night takes us after that.
Anybody in the Washington, D.C. area, Maryland area, Virginia area, it's all relatively close. The DMV area, man, pull up. November 17th.
Yeah.
CJ, there's a statue out there in the yard. He gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
And he gonna pour up. He gonna have a cup for y'all. He gonna have a little shot for y'all.
I'll get some footage in the monument. I got you. Easy.
Yeah. Be easy. It's easy.
Hey, listen, my dad went there. He pledged there. You know,
just continuing the tradition, isn't
it? Yeah. So, all right, guys. Remember, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. It's always love. And remember, you can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all the audio in the podcast are on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio.
Yes. And please, my preference is IG, man. Just please show us some on IG.
So,
Come on, handle TikTok. I'm on IG. Just hit us up on IG.
Pull up on IG. So yeah, man. Y'all have a good one, and we will see you soon. And I will have good footage. Hopefully. We'll let Rose decide that.
All right.
All right, guys.
Catch you on the next episode.
All right, man. Peace.